everybody, Lydia here with Build Show, and today we're going to talk about wet sanding. So wet sanding can be great. There are some tips and tricks though when we get into it of things to do and not to do. So first things first, this is usually just kind of like a tile sponge or like a tile grout sponge. Really love these ones. They're pretty dense. They hold a decent amount of water. These have been my favorite that I found over the years because I will wet sand when doing patches, kind of feathering things in, and then also use these to wipe the dust off the walls. When we're moving to doing a smooth wall, you can get them just barely damp and then just kind of wipe the dust off the walls. So these ones are really great. Just find them at the hardware store. There are the honeycomb ones too that are kind of the dome shaped. Those are okay, but you really want something that has a nice, even kind of sponge consistency or texture. You don't want anything really rough or bumpy because it will scratch things up. Like, don't go grab a sponge out of your kitchen. Like, try and find one of these guys. So what you want to do is you want to get it wet. And I'm actually going to show you what happens if we have it too wet. This is pretty dang wet, so I'm going to make a mess. But if it's super, super wet and we start going into sanding, what it can do is it can actually leave sponge lines. So as you can see in here, like it'll actually start like making the mud get gritty, and it'll make it like start eating away at it. So you can absolutely over sand when it comes to wet sanding. If it's too wet, if you're being too aggressive, if you're pushing too hard, you'll ruin everything that you just did because the sponge will actually soften it up enough that it starts leaving big streaks and lines in your mud. Some advantages to wet sanding is no dust. As we can see here, it's not producing any dust. So if you are trying to keep your dust down to a minimum, it can be a really good way to go. It doesn't sand though quite as well as sandpaper does, and that's something you have to think about too. If I have anything that's like really heavy or really heavy edges or lap lines, it's going to take me a lot longer with this barely damp sponge than it is going to with sandpaper. It is more labor intensive. I don't do it a ton. It is really nice for wiping dust off the walls because you can kind of just come and like wipe the dust off. I don't know, it has its place. Do I use this a lot as a professional finisher? No. Do I think it's something that comes in handy and it's a good thing to know how to do? Absolutely 100%. So use this kind of sponge. Make sure you have clean water. You are going to need to wash it like as you go, because what will happen is it'll kind of just get caked with dust. So I always just have some water, just get it wet again, kind of wring it out, get rid of all that dust that's in the sponge, and then you can just get right back on the wall with it.